Understand services including schooling and business operations in Malamulele will resume to normal as from tomorrow after more than 5 weeks of shutdown. What does today's decision mean, Mike? Have all the demands been met?
Good afternoon, Alicia. The demands by the Malamulele community have not been met at this stage, but a resolution was taken this afternoon to say that they are calling their strike off. This emanates from the meeting that they had in the previous weeks with government leaders, the undertaking by the demarcation board to say that the community of Malamulele need to reconsider their submission for a separate municipality from Solamela. They were given 21 days to do that. So that is the process that is underway. So they decided this afternoon that they are going to follow all the processes that are on the table. That one means the submission of the proposal, and also to wait for the demarcation board to rework on their proposal again. So what is likely to happen tomorrow is that schooling is expected to resume. Government services as well are expected to resume. Businesses, public transport will be restored. That is the undertaking that we got from the Malamulele task team, Alicia.
Mike, it appears that a number of community structures in Malamulele were initially divided on the way forward on this matter. Any particular reason for their differences?
Look, it's indeed correct that there was a big division among structures. You'll remember the meeting that we're talking about today actually started yesterday, but there were only 3 structures that were represented. It was the task team, it was the religious leaders, it was the traditional leaders. So they could not agree to take a decision to suspend the strike on their own. Hence, they called other structures. Today, we saw about 16 structures coming together. And of the 16 structures, 12 voted for the suspension of the strike, whereas the other 4 structures were saying that they must continue up until up until they get what they were demanding.
Mike, speaking of structures, according to the task team spokesperson, now the meeting agreed that the strike should only be suspended, except, of course, 4 structures who still believe it should continue with the shutdown. What were their reasons for continuing, and what was the final decision there, Mike?
Look, their decision was simple. It was that they are not willing to go back to their jobs. Schools will not resume up until they receive what they were demanding, and that's one thing. That was the municipality. The other structures were meant of your COSATU in terms of in the form of SABC, because most of the people who are affected were teachers who were not going to school. You've got your SANCO, and also all the other political parties. They were part of your ANDF, FDA. They were also part of the structures that said today. So of the 16, 4 decided to say that they must continue, but because it was a democratic process, most of the structures thought it's best to suspend it for now, restore services while they continue with their demands.
Thank you so much for that, Mike. And of course, before I let you go very quickly, what can we expect to see happen with regards to around the 300 matriculants who are actually meant to register for their supplementary exams?
They have already missed their deadline because they were supposed to have done that before the end of last week. Unfortunately, we'll only hear tomorrow from the Department of Education if ever these people will be accommodated. But as of now, the only solution is for them to wait for December to write them.
Thank you for that. That's Mike Maringa, SABC reporter, reporting from Malamulele, where a meeting between the community leaders took place today to decide if the shutdown should end or not. He's just confirmed that it has been suspended.